Welcome to a very hot Grand Palais here in Paris for the 27th edition of the Tour Auto. We're here today to do the technical inspection and scrutineering element of the event before our 6 AM start tomorrow morning, where over 5 days we'll cover 2,500 kilometres on the road across France. We'll visit 5 racetracks and 10 closed road special stages where we'll drive against the clock, absolutely flat out. Following our victory last year, we thought it would be interesting to make a video of the event so that you could see what it's all about. So we hope you enjoy what you're about to see.
So this is 1965 GT40 Mark 1. It's the car that was built in December 1965 and shipped to Bill McKelvey in the United States in the beginning of 1966 after successful testing at Goodwood. It raced at Sebring in the 12-hour race that year and also at Le Mans. Unfortunately, it crashed in practice. One of the factory Ford entries took the car out in practice, so it didn't take part in the actual race. But Scuderia Bear, it's quite an interesting story actually. Bill McKelvey's wife made him a mascot, which was a small bear with a helmet made from a chopped in half ping pong ball, and the drivers used to race with the bear on the dash all the time, so that's where the name Scuderia Bear came from, which we're carrying on that history.
The 2018 Tour Auto contains 14 stages, 4 of which are circuit races, and the other 10 are special stages. These specials are held on closed roads so that the competitors can push their cars as hard as they dare. Just like the circuit races, these stages are timed and count towards the final standings, so the drivers must be able to adapt from circuit racing to the special rally stages. The same thing goes for the car. In order for the car to do well, it must be as quick on the track as it is on the special. The circuit races are completed with just the driver, but the special stages are completed with both driver and co-pilot, so that the passenger can read instructions to the driver to help them anticipate the roads ahead. This can be a real test of courage and trust for the passenger, especially when you're travelling as fast as Team Scuderia Bear. The landscapes of the stages change dramatically from day to day as the Tour moves through France. This again challenges the driver, but it's also a great way to showcase such a photogenic country, albeit at great speed. Between special stages, the team must navigate across the country without getting lost within a pre-advised time frame. Competitors must be careful not to get lost, as the window for arrival is tight, and equally they must ensure not to speed on public roads, as the penalties can be severe and sometimes cause disqualification. And now, let's jump in the hot seat for some special stage highlights. head back to Team Scuderia there, this time stopping for a refuel and quick check over the car, which is especially important on the GT40, as these stages are fast, tight and often very bumpy. The service team is made up of Anton and Martin, who work alongside the drivers so that they can get the car back on the road and towards their next checkpoint. The service team work tirelessly throughout the whole rally to make sure that they can keep the GT40 in top running order. In many ways they have their own race, as they have to leapfrog the car in order to be ready at the side of the road for refueling and checks. Of course, you do not need a service crew to compete in Toro Auto. There are regularity grids, who instead of racing against the clock, need to maintain an average speed on all special stages. And now, let's hit the road again as we head towards the circuit. And now let's go to the track for some more highlights, this time of the circuit racing. Disaster can strike at any time on Tour Auto. Whether you're driving point to point on public roads, whizzing around a track, or even hooning it down a special stage, as we're about to find out. James and Andrew entered the last day with an overall lead of 2 minutes, and in the pre-66 category of over 7 minutes. By the start of Saturday, they had won 9 out of the 10 stages contested so far. A second year running win overall looked on the cards. Alas, it was not meant to be. Gearbox failure occurred halfway through the penultimate stage. Sadly, Martin and Anton could not repair it, so after 5 days of driving the car, it had sadly broken roughly 3 hours from the finish. Despite this, the guys were determined to not end the rally on the back of a lorry and ensure that they crossed the line, albeit being pushed, so that they could congratulate the winning team in a mighty Lotus Elan as they crossed the line.
So here we are at the end. We've made it to Nice, although we didn't quite get here under our own steam. And the old adage, in order to finish first you have to finish, definitely springs to mind tonight. I don't think the disappointment set in, but that's probably because we've had such a good time this week. We've covered some of the most amazing mileage you could in France, done some of the best special stages, raced at some of the best circuits, enjoyed the company of some of the best people in the historic car world, and seen some of the best cars giving it full 100% attack on every stage. So we've had a fantastic time. We're gutted obviously not to have made it to the finish, maintaining our lead that we had up until the second last stage. But I guess that gives us an excuse to come back next year and have another go. I don't know about you, Andrew, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I still say that Tour Auto is just the best event. You know, you've got 5 days, 2,500 kilometres, some of the most amazing scenery, and to drive a car like a GT40 on these world rally stages, some of them, it's just phenomenal. And to do it with one of your great pals in such an awesome car, it's just fantastic. You know, this is our third year. We had our issues in the first year with the engine fire, but we learnt a lot. Last year we made it to the finish in first place, which was just fantastic.
And I think certainly to be cutting it with the big cars like we were, absolutely winning pretty much every special stage when we were absolutely on it up until today, shows that we can really push the car to its limit, and it demonstrates how great a car the GT40 is, and goes back to what you said at the start, that as a rally car it's just an unbelievable
I think
most
you know,
capable bit of kit.
Yeah, I mean, you see the works Ferrari 308s, you know, the Lancias, all these cars which were built for rallying, and I'm sure if Ford knew in 1966 that the GT40 was such a great rally car, you'd have seen it a lot more on that stage.